It's Riverhawks Weekly, featuring Grace Bartels, Eamon Bray, Sif Craver, Brady Panay, Coral Vizzy, Jesse James Van Valkenburg, and Mr. Heatley. And now, reporting from our CATV headquarters in the RTBS room, here's Grace Bartels with the week's top stories.
Today's lunch will be pizza, and we all know how that comes. The featured faculty member of the week is the advisor of the student online newspaper, the Riverhawk Report, Mr. Dial. Later, we will be discussing the yearbook and the upgraded course guide designed by his students in the publishing class, Emma Pelton and Katie McManus. In Riverhawks sport and athletic news, winter sports have officially wrapped up for the Riverhawks, and we'd like to congratulate all athletes who participated. We'd like to give a special shout out to the girls varsity basketball team, who for the first time in 20 years qualified for first round of sectionals by their record alone. We'd also like to give a shout out to the varsity wrestling team, who clinched this year's Protrude Conference title, and to their coach, Mr. Palmer, for winning Coach of the Year. Spring sports officially begin Monday, March 13th. Family ID is open for registration and further details. We have a message from Miss Lackey that Dr. Hassett will be in Thursday, March 9th for sports and work paper physicals. Please be signed up by Wednesday, March 8th in the nurse's office. Tomorrow, March 4th, will be the charity faculty versus staff basketball game. We encourage all to attend for fun. Now, in club news and events. The Hope Club Blood Drive, organized by Mrs. Field, was a success. Thank you to all who donated and to the Hope Club for facilitating the event. Mrs. Space will be hosting a star party with her astrology students. It will be a fundraiser and all proceeds will be donated to the Tater Memorial Fund. The date will be announced soon, and see Ms. Space for more details. Hey Riverhawks, Grace here, and I'm joined today by Mr. Dial, who is the featured faculty member of the week. I'm going to ask him a few questions and hope you guys get to know him a little better. Thank you for being here, Mr. Dial.
You're very welcome.
All right, so my first question is, how long have you been working at Coxsackie-Athens, and how long have you been teaching our publishing class here?
Well, this is my 19th year here at CA, and I love to work here and teach here. And as far as publishing, it's been about 7 or 8 years. I'm not sure exactly how many.
Awesome, that's great. So in the previous question, I mentioned publishing class. What is publishing class for those who don't know what it is, and what does a day in publishing class look like?
Sure. Publishing class actually combined 2 separate classes at one time. There was a journalism class, and then there was a yearbook class, and before that there was a yearbook club. And so they were combined into one, so as that suggests, the publishing class makes our high school yearbook. That's a big part of the class, and also covers some elements of the introduction to journalism class.
That's awesome. I know a lot of students know this class for the yearbook, but it's also great that you teach other aspects of journalism as well. So in addition to being the teacher of the publishing class and many other English classes at CA, you're also the advisor of the student newspaper class, which also runs the online student newspaper, the Riverhawks Report. What kind of students, or what students are allowed to write stories? What stories do they write about, and where are these stories published?
Well, we call it the student newspaper because it's the student's newspaper. And so any student, not just a member of the club, but any student can submit stories. Maybe a student's a member of a sports team and wants to write a story about the sports team season, or maybe they've seen a recent movie or heard a good album that's been released and want to write a review of those things, and any of those things would be terrific.
Another thing you do in this class is design the course guide for students who are looking to join new classes next year, or even for new students who are looking to make their schedule. How did the redesign go with the students that were selected, and how is it looking now that it's finalized?
Thank you for asking. That's actually a fairly new thing. Mr. Burrell asked us to redesign the course guide because it was a little unappealing, I think, to students. And so we looked at it, and not being expert publisher, we're not professionals. We looked at what we could change to make the biggest effect. So one thing we did is we changed the number of columns. It was this 1-column document before, and we made it into a 2-column document, which just kind of gives it some more eye appeal. We updated the font into a more modern font. Previously it was Times New Roman, which is kind of a stuffy, 1800s looking font, and we added pictures to the document, pictures of students in the classes.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm so sad I'm a senior, so I won't be able to actually use it, but it sounds great for students that are coming up. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for being here, and congrats on being our featured faculty member of the week.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it.
Of course.
Thank you, Grace.
All right, tune in next week for our interview with next week's featured faculty member of the week. Bye.